Starting. It's recording.
1,
Happy
2,
days.
3, and go.
Everyone's coming in. Good. G'day and welcome back to back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. Got a bit mixed up, you know. We've been doing all this commentary for Gatekeeper boys.
What do we smash out? 8 times 9 hole segments from the Big Open during the week?
Pretty solid.
I've spent more time in the studio than at home at the moment, but yes, no, this is the Tee-Off, episode 42. In the studio with me today, I've got Andrew Ferguson, Tim Bohan. How are you, boys?
Very good, thanks, Paddy. Fergie, good to be back.
I want to know how many people skip through that intro.
What, our intro?
Yeah. Every time I listen to a podcast, I go 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, just to skip through all the shit.
Absolutely.
So just in case you did, Flying Disc Store, great sponsor.
People are still skipping Fergie.
And Aussie Discs. Let's shout out Aussie Discs as well. So there you go.
TL5. Get your discount. Straight up players meeting. Want to shout out Joe Duran. He's joined the Patreon. Appreciate that, Joe. If anyone else is sort of on the fence, jump on. It's a link in our Instagram bio. It's as cheap as a coffee a month. And we're going to be doing a giveaway for our Patreon members very soon. So yeah, and Timmy, I think you've got another giveaway.
We do, boys. Heiser Flight and Ausdis have jumped on board. They are giving away to Heiser Flight followers, Ausdis followers and Tee-Off followers, particularly if you tag 2 people that want to hear our beautiful voices, you can win a hoodie, a hat, a T-shirt, a stubby holder, and one of the brand new Heiser Flight umbrellas, which take it from me, absolutely mint. Everyone knows me. I only ever play in the rain. I bring the rain to every tourney. Yep. Get
all right.
Does that mean we're on the team? It's the full kit. It's the full kit.
Mate, you could be an honorary man.
I'd love to be on Team Oz Discs.
Yeah. So keep an eye out. That'll be on Instagram. There'll be a post and how you can join that giveaway very shortly.
Okay, so yeah, it'll be a post and then you're going to tag some people. All right, easy. Sounds good. We will definitely share that.
What's news around the world, around Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Recap time, boys. How'd the recap go last week when I was gone?
Oh, it was magic.
Super duper. Yeah. We shared the load.
Aren't you glad I prepared all the
notes?
It
was about 30 minutes shorter. But,
it was.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's my airtime. You just sit back, have a listen. Now, we are over in Norway for this one. Disc Golf Pro Tour event, European Tour Stop number 6, the PCS Open, presented by Innova. That was absolutely dominated by Paul Macbeth. 1073 average over the 3 rounds and a commanding 5-shot win over the Proctor, James Proctor.
My boy.
Question.
Proctologist.
Question. What does PCS stand for?
Zero clue.
Isn't it a drug?
Isn't one of them Sula? Was that a different comp?
Is it? I think PCS, wasn't it some sort of accounting firm or some shit?
Zero clue.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. I'm glad you did your research, boys. Thank you. No, very solid from Paul. 1073 average. That's nuts.
Like he dominated, absolutely dominated. He's obviously settled in Europe now and knows how to play that course.
Yeah, true to form, Tim. What did Luke Bain do?
Lukey Bain, unfortunately, 57th place, missed cash by 8 shots, and a whopping 34 shots behind P. McBee. So
right.
Not Bainey's best one, but still doing good stuff over there in Europe. FPO side of things, KT, she won by 1 shot over Missy Gannon.
Ooh.
Not quite the dominant performance like Macbeth. Missy almost had it.
Right.
So they both birdied the third last hole and then they went par bogey to finish. So
wow.
Missy, the door was open, but unfortunately couldn't get it done.
PC, they're in Norway. That's they've got the Axis, the trophy.
I think I saw a shield as well, maybe.
Yeah,
looks like they updated the tractor. The tractor looked way junkier last year.
Yeah, true. Actually, it looked mint.
Quite flash.
I think it's a Massey Ferguson. The old tractor this time.
I don't know my tractors.
It's Massey Ferguson. Come on.
How come we don't have like a tractor hole in Australia? Like it seems more Australian than it is European.
We'll work on that for Inverleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great at Inverleigh. Now we're moving over to the 2023 President's Cup, which is, of course, a teams event. US 10 straight, and there's only been 10, so all 10 wins for the US, and they've just racked up number 11. So they had a 2-point win over Europe.
2 points doesn't seem
It's pretty
like
close.
It actually came down to like the last hole, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
So just the way this works, Eagle, Macbeth, Calvin Heimberg, and Isaac Robinson all won their head-to-head matches against the Europeans. From the MPO side of things, Ricky lost to Oyvind Janes,
Oh, Oyvind.
and Dickerson tied his match. I believe that was against Weidner, but against somebody. And the European women smashed it. KT and Henna Bloomross basically got maximum points over Kat Allen and Missy Gannon, so that's why it was so close.
Yeah, right. That's cool. I met Oyvind in USDGC. Played a practice round with him. That guy can bomb, man.
Yeah, right.
Bomb. Yeah, super nice dude.
We need to look at how we can do this sort of thing between states in Australia, I reckon.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
State of origin.
Yeah. The tee-off presents.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Forehands only, though, because the Canberra boys will smash it otherwise. Then we had a major, and this was bloody awesome. The European Open, presented by Discmania on the Beast in Nokia, Finland. Corey Ellis finally got the win.
Yeah.
So this is a man, he lost at D-Glow in a playoff versus Heimberg. He lost Portland Open only by a stroke to, I think it was Gossage and Hammers. And then we all know, but he blatantly choked, basically, on the MVP Open when he put his upshot straight into the crowd. And we remember seeing that footage of him, having that moment in the clubhouse afterwards. Just
Head and hands.
yeah, everyone felt that one. And I think everyone got behind him, and it was good to see him get his first ever major win.
Mate, he played so solidly. Like,
Smashed it.
I mean, AB was obviously front runner, and gave it away on 16.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, definitely got to talk about that. But Corey, just incredibly solid. Even just after that, I did have to laugh. So maybe let's talk about 16. So AB's, was he 2 in front?
Yeah, he was 2 in front. He had to, so they all have their tee shots. They're all kind of in decent position, but AB's maybe a little bit further back.
Yeah.
So he's first to play. 16 is the bunker hole. And, this is basically, you're not getting penalised if you don't make the island, but you basically lose all your distance, so you have to rethrow. And I've never played that. That sounds really intimidating, having to just basically throw disc after disc after disc till you get it inbounds. And for it to be like the third last hole of a major, can you just imagine the pressure?
I think I really like that it's 16
Yeah.
and not, like USDGC.
USD 17. Yeah.
Yeah, 17. It's not the last hole,
Or penultimate.
where it comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it just
Very
gives you more time to think about how much you stuffed it up.
Yeah.
and then right, what the hell do I need to do on the next 2 holes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So AB actually finished 5th or 6th or something like that. But he was in charge the whole comp. His putting was mental. His driving, he was taking the big line on every hole. His driving was just in a league of its own. But unfortunately, on the bunker hole, he went for it 5 times. Missed it 4 or 5 times. Kept going long, which was super frustrating to see. It's mate, just take a little bit off.
Well,
Take a little bit off.
What did you think of that? He went forehand every time. Missed forehand. Okay, long.
Yeah.
Then he goes forehand again. Forehand.
I mean, that's the play. It's just you stick to what you know. And I think most of the pros will say the forehand approach is the way to tackle that hole.
Yeah.
Because backhand, you're kind of
I mean, I guess
Backhand
the
looks
basket's on the other side, but
and the island's narrower.
you got to get it in bounce.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
He was so close every single time. It was super uncomfortable to watch. Macbeth was his caddy. Basically, how powerless did Macbeth look there? Just speechless. Couldn't, what do you say to someone in that position?
Try back in.
I think you just, don't you just go full Prit and just be like, don't fuck it up?
It's. I mean, to me, it's a little bit. I don't know. It's sometimes it's these holes that make me think that what I think that would make other people watching it go, this is a bit gimmicky. What I mean? You don't see this in some of the higher professional levels of golf, and there's some tough holes. Don't get me wrong, and there's some island greens that you've got to hit, but you don't seem to be kind of seeing these wickedly high scores and this gimmicky kind of thing going on. I don't know. It's the hay bales and the whole. I don't know.
Yeah,
It detracts from the prestige of the event, in my opinion.
Okay. Oh, look, I have specifically added it to Trash or Cash for this episode because I think it is interesting. Like, it's funny. Like, I kind of like it. I don't know why. I kind of like the idea of it. It is a real shame to see someone lose it. I think Johnny McRae's had a similar experience. Was it at USGGC?
Yeah, hole 17.
Yeah. It hurts to see someone lose it. But the good news is he lost it to someone that really deserved to win, Corey Ellis. Huge. And when Corey Ellis stepped up after AB went OB that many times and he stuck his zone right next to the basket, his wife reached out for a high five and Corey Ellis basically went full smack.
Yeah. Shattered her, metatarsals.
Broke her hand. It was really, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. His wife just, I think her name's Molly. Kudos to Molly.
It was Molly.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
All one-hand Molly.
It
Yeah.
is. I mean, that's got to be like caddy duties 101, right? Like you have to be there to cop the big high fives.
Absolutely.
And she copped it, yeah. But she definitely showed how all that was afterwards.
I got to admit, I
Now we
had
know how
such a
they
good
play it.
chuckle
Yeah.
over that. It's just bang!
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh, man.
Now, I haven't even spoken about FPO side of things just yet. Who do you think won this one?
Oh, mate, I fell asleep after the first round.
KT.
No, I did. Well, the timing that it came on, I did watch a bit of the FPO. And yeah, KT smashed
it was just fait accompli after like the first round. She was so far ahead. She actually averaged exactly 1,000. And she's like 994 rated right now. So this could put her over that 4 dig mark, which I hope it does. She won by 16 shots.
Yeah.
16 shots.
So
It's
dominant.
embarrassing, isn't it?
Mate, she could have slept in on the last day, copped those +4s through the first few holes, had a nice brekkie, and still come back and won it. It's huge.
Crazy dominant. And she's the first European woman European to win the European Open.
Is that
Funny
right?
isn't it?
Oh,
Actually, on that note, I don't think
Good
there was
on
a
her.
European male in the top 10.
Yeah, okay.
So it just shows the dominance of the US boys at this stage.
And there's a fair contingent over there as well.
Yeah.
A couple of other notables. Macbeth DNF'd with a shoulder complaint. From 2013, he's actually won it 5 times. And, of course, he came second to Eagle. So, yeah. But he wasn't really performing. And I think the shoulder, maybe just he's just been grinding over in Europe for a few weeks. So he must be feeling the effects.
He's been wielding that axe.
That's it.
He's done himself an injury.
Other one I want to point out, Calvin Heimberg. He played great. He's always there, but unfortunately no cigar for Calvin. Like, he's just an interesting one, eh? He's arguably the best player in the sport at the moment, most consistent, always sort of top 5. He's never won a major. So kind of like, it just makes me think, like, where does Calvin rank amongst the greats? Like, he's so good, but just not getting it done.
Won't be long. He'll get one.
Been saying that for about 2 years, Paddy.
Well, I'd rather bet on Calvin than AB getting one.
Oh, you really? I think AB's got the top level talent. AB,
He's too inconsistent.
but he looks cool. Even when
He does look cool.
even
He's
when
very
he's
smart.
carding a snowman on hole 16, he looks cool.
Yeah.
Now, I need to shout out another notable. So AB got an 8 on hole 16. Lukey Bain got a 3. And look, the Disc Golf
And
Network.
an 8.
What did he get last year? I can't remember. It was like a 13 or something. On the
Yeah,
side.
it's up there.
So look, I'm not going to lie. Disc Golf Network has the catch cam for hole 16 as one of their featured holes.
Yeah.
I saw you disc. I'm like, Bainey's just finished 15. I'm at with Reese Wisniewski's house. I'm like, let's just dial in case, there's a bit of drama. Let's see if we can see another.
A bit of drama. Is that what you're
I
going
know what you're hoping for.
Yeah.
Look, we dialed in to see the train wreck. Not going to lie. And I'm like, it's hard to tell who's throwing, but I'm like, that's Lukey Bain. I can see he's like, follow through. He's getting ready to throw. And he throws it in on hole 16. Cashes it.
Unreal.
He's an absolute freak.
Throwing him for 3. So he's laid up. He's laid up
so
his
he's laid up
seconds.
to the edge of the island.
Yep.
Yep.
It looked like it was 75, 80 metres. UDisc put it down as a 60-metre throw-in. But, like, you beast, Lukey Bain. Massive
that's awesome.
kudos.
Yeah.
That's how you play 16. Just chuck it
Absolutely.
straight in, no stress. If only AB saw that. I was really hoping
I was
they
going to
actually...
say, Paul,
Yeah.
yeah, come on.
I was really hoping they actually showed that because sometimes they show highlights from during the round, when the feature card's getting to that hole, but unfortunately, no cigar. Hopefully someone got some footage of it. Bloody awesome to see Lukey Bain.
Yeah, unreal. To, bit of vengeance on that hole for sure.
Yeah. Now that's my European Open wrap up. It was huge. I think It really stands out as, obviously it's a major, but one of the biggest events behind Worlds. Just like, do you see how many Finnish people like are in the crowd watching it? It's
That's huge,
amazing.
isn't it?
Mate, absolute bucket list to play that.
Yeah.
mate.
Number one sport in Finland? Still? No? Yes?
No clue.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
that's amazing.
I would. The only thing, I'm not sure if there's much post production of it, because when it came out live, in Australia, it's like what, coming on at 11 p.m.
Yeah, the feature card teed off at 10:30. It was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. No, I was
You're
well and
asleep?
truly asleep,
Mate, I just watched the Bombers lose. I chucked on the chucked on European Open after they watched the F1. It was great.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, not sure if there was. I'm sure, surely there's post production, but
there'll be something. Anyway, over to Australian shores, we had two tournaments. The first one being the Icebreaker 2023 at Mundaring. That was taken out by Alex Canaston. He had a big win over Blake Houston with a 10-10 opening round.
do they like leave Mundaring at all? Like, I feel like we just shout out, "Oh, Alex won at Mundaring, Blake
Mate.
won at Mundaring."
They're there every day. I hear there's actually punch-ons between those two. Like, they really, really go at it.
Yeah, right.
Definitely not mates. Blake wanted to point out it's the first time he's lost at Mundaring in a year, and he'll
right.
obviously be looking to rectify that next month at the WA Open.
That's next month.
Yep.
Okay, jeez, that's coming up.
Chris Finn took out MP40, and Sue Summers took out FA1.
Nice.
Also notable, so Icebreaker's got a little bit of a moxie on the previous winner. There's been no one that's won it twice.
Right.
So 10 years, 10 unique winners, including Fergie, yourself.
Yes, back in 2014. I think I started the event actually. To be honest, pretty sure I was the TD there with JB running it back in the day, and
You had a chance to go back-to-back 2016, but you 2 shots to Dave Bandy. Do
Dave Bandy got me. on that one.
He came out.
you remember that one?
Bastard. Yes, I do.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I had a pretty good second round. I got a few back on him, but not enough.
Not
Couldn't
enough.
chase him down,
Yep.
unfortunately. But it's pretty. It's a pretty cool one. I don't know if you've seen. There's some photos of Alex dropping the ice on his head.
I haven't seen that, but I have seen it in prior years. That's kind of cool.
That was a bit of a thing I started.
Well, there you go, Fergs.
I'm like, oh well, I won it, so I'm going to throw this ice on my head.
Yeah,
That was a
sweet.
fucking stupid thing. No, it was good fun, and they've kept on doing it, which is really cool.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
nice
awesome.
to see.
Yeah.
Now, that was a really cool comp, but the biggest one that went down was the Winter Ambush Sydney Invitational. This wasn't a New South Wales major, but it felt like one. 84 players, TD'd by Jeff Wall. We obviously spoke to him last week, and he did very, very well coming onto the tee off and pumping up the event. That course was sick down in
Yeah.
Akron. What did you think?
Yeah, of course, is really cool. It would have been nice to have a bit more time to practice, and it would have been nice to have 3 rounds on it instead of 2.
Yeah.
Because there was definitely a big difference from round 1 to round 2. But the actual design, I don't know. You go back and have a look at some of the hole lengths. Like, it was no joke.
It didn't look
legit.
like it.
Yeah, absolutely legit.
There were only 6 scores under par for the whole event,
Yeah,
and I sure as hell wasn't one of them.
yeah.
Well, I think I saw 940 something odd rating for par, which you boys I think seems
And
a
that's
little
probably
bit low.
Yeah, it's probably unders, to be honest.
Yeah, I think one thing we spoke about with the course, it was actually like birdie was tricky, was hard.
Birdies were really hard to come by.
Yeah,
Yeah.
par was actually very achievable, and bogeys were easy.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
man, I got a lot of bogeys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where the the course ratings were kind of like let down a little bit, because I think a lot of people were just taking pars. Like, if you had that sort of 80-meter, distance, you could just do that, 3 times, put yourself in a really good position and walk away with par. Happy days. Whereas most of MPO probably had the distance, but maybe just get caught up, in 1 shot or 2 shot, whatever. And then, we're walking away with pars.
I think it was similar to that 143 meter par 3 at Queensland Open. It's like a great drive gets you to circle 2, probably still not getting the birdie. Shank drives will get you to 80 meters out, and you'll still get a par. So there's a little bit of that. A little bit of the birdie's not quite gettable.
Yeah.
But that's on the MPO boys. We've got to get that a little bit better.
But the
And this was at a scout.
yeah, so it's had this big scout camp,
Setup?
which is so cool. So there was I can't remember exactly how many campsites there were, but I mean we were down to
I think they
8.
use 2. The course used 2 sites out of 8 possible
Yeah.
spots.
And sort of open areas, but like really established gums and stuff. So there's heaps of gaps. They didn't really bring in any man-made OB. There was just a couple of like roads where they did, and there was a couple of mandos here and there.
I think there were 3 mandos for the whole course, and there was just OB on like hole 18.
Yeah.
Maybe just 18. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Felt very open.
That's good.
Super open, like, and it was so lovely. Like, you could just be there and be like, all right, I have so much, like, there's heaps of different lines. So I could go like turnover, forehand, big sky, like annies, like rollers. Like, you could really use whatever you want to go and get down. Yeah, it was really, really cool space. There was camping and everything, obviously, like on site as well. Yeah, I think this place could definitely host like big events.
Yeah.
And you could easily get multiple courses out there as well. So
yeah, that's sick. Now, I haven't even shouted out the winners yet. Austin D'Alessandro had the win in front of Chris Hill and Dan Frost. Jonathan Jonas took out MP40. It was a good win for JJ over Matt Wallace and Kev Costa.
Had you in my tips, JJ. Well done.
Oh, well done, sir. The best female player was Julie Laneville in FA2, averaging almost 800. So well
Julie.
done to you guys.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of notables. We did mention the ratings, Paddy. So there were only 6 scores under par. I think it was like 14 in MPO, but only 2 MPO players actually shot over their rating. But if you go to the flip side, almost the entire MA2 and MA50 division, minus my dad, because it was definitely not a good weekend for the Bohans. They all averaged over their rating.
Yeah,
that's sort of
interesting.
showing
Yeah.
that, the MPO not quite getting the birdies meant that, the rating's getting pulled down, but MA2, MA50, like the lower divisions, just as long as I kept it clean, they just had a field day with the ratings.
Interesting.
Which is one thing like that I've, we look at most of the MPO stuff, but like that's a pretty interesting trend, like post tournaments and that sort of thing, to see where it's all falling.
Yeah.
Is that something like you can see in the stats and just go like that, or you've just had a look at that yourself?
I had a look at that myself. Actually, it was pointed out by Dan Frost, so thanks, Dan, for the intel.
On you, Dan.
I think you're generally going to see that in the MA2 division anyway, because that MA2 division, quite a lot of players are like rapidly progressing. They're always shooting above their rating, and the rating, of course, lags by at least a month. But in the cases of MA2, it might lag by 6 months because the person might only play one comp every 6 months. The ratings are just going to be like that. It's going to be tough for the higher rated players until 80 to 90% of the disc golf community in Australia has plateaued. Right now, 80 to 90% of players.
The tournament, whoever's playing the tournament.
Yeah. And right now, 80 to 90% of Australian disc golfers playing tournaments have nowhere near plateaued. So they're rapidly overshooting their rating, which is, of course, pulling down the ceiling. But anyway, it's all matters.
Anyway.
It is what it is. Ratings, they don't really matter too much. And I'm certainly happy to say that after putting in a 900 flat rated round for round 2. She was gross. I'm actually surprised it wasn't like 800 because it felt 800. Now, I think we've touched on the course. I think I just want to point out this should be the course for the New South Wales Open.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not trying to make any controversial statement there. Paddy's pointed it out. You've got the space, you've got the accommodation, and it's a championship level course. It ticks all the boxes. I think quite a few of the other MPO players have shared similar sentiments because unfortunately New South Wales Open going ahead at the Armoury, we're not really feeling that course sort of offers everything that's required.
No, it's not a. I'm not going to New South Open. Mainly, like, there's a few different reasons, especially being that it's on grand final weekend.
Yeah, that's it.
And Geelong's gonna, be in it again, of course.
I'll probably go. The Bombers won't make the finals. I think it's also an NRL grand final. Apparently, that's like right next to it, so it could be pretty busy.
Yeah.
On those days.
Yeah, that's pretty. So you're saying it should be this year? Make the call.
Well,
Like, change it now.
Can't change it now. It's
Yeah.
unfortunately already like heaps. The crew have done heaps of work. The Sydney crew getting the Armoury up to standard. And I had a look at the fly throw. The course looks really fun. It's not championship level, though.
No, I think
it's quite simply not
how you would
championship level because
bring it
of
down.
the
Yeah.
distances.
Yeah.
One of the holes is like 60 meters, and yes, you got a triple Mando, but it's 60 meters. You know?
It's just, it doesn't quite have the space for it. And it's
Yeah.
a lot of man-made OB, which, brings some, like uniqueness to that course. And hey, you're playing, on an army base, which is kind of cool. But yeah, just not championship level. That's for sure.
Artificial OB, not the answer. So
Enjoy that, Tim.
Look, I haven't even signed up yet, but I might go. I sure as hell ain't going to watch the Bombers playing a grand final, so may as well. Now, that's all the comps. So I got a little bit of other news. The Disc Golf Pro Tour have done a few things over the last couple of weeks. First of all, they cancelled several FPO events due to the litigation risks from basically Natalie Ryan. Let's call it how it is. They just simply couldn't risk all the last-minute legal disputes that Natalie Ryan was throwing up, on the eve of the tournament, due to obviously interrupting the tournament, but also just the legal costs. Like PDJ just couldn't financially take that risk. But then the news dropped today. They backflipped, and the FPO division will now be reinstated at those events that they cancelled under a new United Series. And this United Series is not Disc Golf Pro Tour points anymore. It's a United Series points that they're winning. And it allows trans athletes to compete as long as they meet one of 3 categories. It's
and these categories that's part of the PDJ policy.
It's part of the PDJ policy, all these gender-based guidelines. I haven't read them all. I think what it boils down to is that at a minimum, you have to have at least 2 years of testosterone suppression. No idea about, that's all over the top of my head. But as I understand it, these guidelines are hopefully a nice compromise that keeps, obviously, the trans athletes, content that they can still compete, but also the FPO players feel that, their division and their sport has got that integrity that they want and that fairness.
Right.
I think what it boils down to is this will allow Nat Ryan to defend her titles at D-Glow and MVP Open and also play Worlds. And as far as I've heard, I think the PDJ put out a quote from KT and like Sarah Hokum and Ella Hansen, and they seem to be in support of it. So look, I'm going to have to say this has been a good compromise because it's super messy. I was super disappointed to see all those events get cancelled, but then the week later, they're reinstated.
Right, cool.
Moving on.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disc golf and to catch up on the latest disc golf trends.
All right, and on the phone we have Ash Weidner from Melbourne. Ash, you're coming on because we want to hear a little bit about the upcoming tournament, the Melbourne Celebrates. First off, thanks for being on the tee off, mate.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Long-time listener, first-time callee, I guess.
Actually, before we go into it, we got to clear one thing up. We shouted you out the other week. Now, is it you or your partner who's actually joined the Patreon, mate?
Yeah, good to get a chance to clear that up. It's actually me.
Good disappointing.
Don't know how her name ended up on it, but it's there somehow.
Sweet. I'll ask her about it next time.
Ash, Fergs, how you going, mate?
Hey, Berk, how are you going?
Good. Hey, look, before we kind of get into some of the details about the Melbourne Celebrates events and things like that, just keen to kind of hear about your journey in disc golf so far. How did you kind of get into the sport and what's your story?
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Look, about, I reckon a year and a half ago, a mate, our partners were all away for the weekend, and a mate said, hey, guys, why don't we go and do this? He's the kind of mate that's always into any odd sport. 1 week it's rock climbing, next week it's, frisbees in a park, and off we went. And I think about 3 holes in, my brother and I just looked at each other and went, this is sick. And we haven't looked back. Quickly got really obsessed, as I think you guys experienced firsthand through my interactions with the podcast. But, found a really great community of people in Melbourne, and quickly I think we played our first tournament 6 weeks after that. And that's got really hooked with the community idea and heading, interstate, regionally for tournaments and hanging out with good people and trying to figure out how to make these silly frisbees get in the bucket.
Now, Ash, you did mention your brother. Shout out to Jason Weidner. I've got a very controversial question right off the bat for you. Who's better?
Yeah.
Who's better, mate?
At the moment, Jason's got a bulging disc in his shoulder, so I've probably got him pegged at the moment. Yeah.
Who's higher rated, though? Come on, I need maths here to support this.
I think it's me.
Oh,
at the moment.
There we go.
That said, we're both rated 700 and nothing. So
Doesn't matter if
Doesn't matter,
If
mate.
you're 700 nothing plus one, you just take it, mate. You take it.
Yeah, I think I've got him. I'm just looking it up now. Yeah, I've got him by 9 points, I think.
That's at least a throw. That's one throw at least.
That's huge.
Hey, Ash,
Absolutely.
Melbourne's got a pretty big event coming up. Melbourne Celebrates. Can you tell us about the event? You know, what's your involvement in it and the course?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's I guess the big Melbourne tournament of the year. We like to call it Melbourne Celebrates, as we sort of like to come together and celebrate all the things that are going on, that have happened, and all the wonderful people that play disc golf in Melbourne and around the country. So as you guys would know, Melbourne does have the challenge in holding a big tournament in that we don't have a permanent 18-hole or 18 tee-pad, 18 basket course. So every year the team have to get a bit creative. This year, Mike van der Linden, Vice President of the club, found Llewellyn Park in Wantirna South and pegged it as a pretty good location for a course really early on in the piece, and has worked tirelessly with councils, which is always fun. And worked with the team, Jeff Brunsting and Anthony Pearsall, who are a TD and assistant TD respectively, to create this quite creative 18-hole course in Llewellyn Park. Which is really exciting. Players have been loving it over the last couple of weeks, the few chances we've got to play it. But yeah, really interesting park with some crazy terrain, some woods, and some big long flat areas for people that have big arms.
That's fun.
Is there a chance or a hope or a push to get something in the ground at some point, yeah, mate?
Yeah, look, I don't know how much I can say, but there is definitely a push to use some area of that park ongoing and potentially get something in the ground. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
So the event's on this weekend?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. I've been plugging it to death on the Melbourne socials and all of that sort of stuff, and got about 109 people, I think, last count coming down.
Very solid. Very cool.
Is there any spots left for those last minute?
Paddy, would you just get bloody organised, mate?
Look, no, Patty,
I'm not playing.
Tim, I actually was. I've listened to enough tee off to be prepared for this, to be honest. And I can see there is a spot open in MPO on the 12:40 p.m. The nice late start tee time, Patty. So, love to have you down there.
Paddy, I'm looking at the list right now. I am the highest rated player. I'm the big dog here. Surely you can sneak on there. And on that note, Ash, who's your tip, mate? I'm looking at MPO. There's 8 players, 2 in FPO. Give us an MPO and FPO tip.
Yeah, okay. I anticipated this as well, and really hard to split the MPO field. It's easy to go with the highest rated player in the field, right?
No. Did you see
Cuban Collingwood?
Did you see me play on the weekend? I'd go for one of the 12 Ryans that are playing FPO. You got Ryan Hart, Ryan Deere, and Ryan Michelle.
Yeah, look, I'd love to see Ryan Michelle put in a good showing. Ryan Deere had a 12 on one of the holes on the weekend. I don't quite have the story behind that, but Ryan Hart, yeah, that'd be good to see. But I think my Smokey's probably Josh Smith. 4-digit PDGA number. Yeah. Been around for a while, coming back into the game, and reckons I had a beer with him at Beach Hut Brewery after the practice round on the weekend, and he reckons he might have this course dialed. So
the man's got 4 numbers. 4 numbers in his PDGA.
Oh. Do you ever play with Josh?
Yeah. I played with him once at Geelong. Yeah.
Not surprised him hearing about Smitty talking himself up.
Yeah.
Hey, I have it on
some confidence, Josh.
I heard from Ryan Michelle today. And he'll hate that I'm reading this out, but he reckons he's going to get 4 eagles on the course. He got 2 on the weekend.
4 eagles.
He reckons he's going to get 4 eagles as a lefty. So clearly lefty.
That's a
lefty friendly course.
Right. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Most of them are 67-metre par 3s, so that's going to have to include some aces there, I reckon, right?
Ash, how much is this going to destroy my rating? Honestly, the Melbourne comps kill me. I put in like a 6 down. I'm stoked, and I come in, it's like 905 rated. So this one's going to hurt, isn't it?
Look, it might. I won't be. I'll be honest with you there, Tim. But I think being a brand new course and some of the crazy scores we saw over the weekend at the practice round might mean that it levels it out a bit, because there's guys going around Melbourne that can go around Bald Hill on a bad day, 12 down. So you go and play a comp at Bald Hill, and you've got guys in MA1 shooting ridiculous scores. So hopefully this will even it out a bit.
All I'm saying, Ash,
make it worth your while.
It'd be nice if those Bald Hill bandits came down the highway to Inverleigh and just reciprocated when our event's on. Just that's all I'm saying. Look, I don't mind going up there and I'll clop around and, you know, get my four down and get grilled. But come down to Inverleigh, reciprocate, boys.
It's so busy on the west coast, though. It's so busy.
I was going. Don't they need a car to get to Inverleigh?
Hey, Ash.
Preaching to the choir here, boys. All up for it.
Look, mate, we couldn't get you on without asking about PRKED Media.
PRKED
Media. So tell us about your involvement there and what's going on with PRKED.
Boy, I love PRKED
plenty.
Media.
Plenty at the moment. Thanks for asking. Kyle Herbertson and Phil Morgan, sort of their brainchild about 6 months ago, and I sort of got tangentially involved, and it's sort of grown from there. They initially wanted to make sort of, I guess you'd say, foundation style videos, playing courses, bag challenges, that sort of stuff, and have a bit of fun. We sort of got sucked into tournament coverage, and it's taken the front seat, I guess, for the moment. So, Kyle and I, anyone that's been to a tournament lately has probably seen Kyle and I chasing around chase cards with cameras and furiously editing it together over the next week or so, and trying to get it out there as fast as we can. So
very cool.
You do a tremendous job at that, Ash. It comes out straight away.
Yeah, cheers. It's something that's really important to us. Kyle's an absolute Kyle. All the credit to Kyle on the editing, and he won't tell me how he does it, so I can't give any insight there.
AI, I believe.
With Kyle, nothing has surprised me. He's automated every aspect of his life, but he, except his forehand. But it's really important to us to be able to get it out there quickly. While people are still interested in the tournament, the stories are still fresh in people's minds, and the players have got something to say. Hey, this is what I did last weekend, Mum. Or friends on Instagram and such, and really just try and get that our quality up. We're testing and learning as we go, but hoping to only get faster going forward and be able to provide that really quickly for people. So it's important to us to be able to showcase the game for the players.
Very cool,
it's
mate.
Not about
Well, we certainly appreciate your work. And just one last one before you go. What's on? What's happening with yourself and with disc golf coming up in the next few months? Are you playing Aussie champs or what's going on?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. Retros for Aussie champs haven't quite opened for me yet, but I'm planning to go over there. I might try and get on the MA40 list in the second week. I think that's when it is.
You have to be over 40, Ash. You're not a day over 20, right?
Thanks, mate. That's all Neutrogena skin masks. But no, I've seen a few years. The hat hides the greys. But I sneak into MA40. But we're planning to get over and cover something. But other than that, I'm going to try and do this in order. So we're filming the big wet, and then Kyle, we're sending a delegation over to WA to do the WA Open for PRKED. I'm not going to that due to work commitments and such. And then it'll be New South Wales Open. I think I'm playing the Central Vic Classic Eruption I managed to get in for. And then, hopefully champs.
Yeah, sounds awesome, Ash. And I have one last question before you go. Sure. On the tee off, we like to have a little bit of merch. We've got our pins and our hats and that sort of thing. I am wondering when the PRKED Media custom stamped helmets are coming out, the bike helmets.
Is it a I thought it was a gaff helmet.
A gaff helmet?
Gaff. Yeah, you used to bodyboard with the gaff helmet.
Yeah, look, I'd be up for purchasing one.
Mate, we're all up for merch, and I'm down to create one. I smashed my gaff helmet on the rocks down, I think it was at Wye River many years back. I've never bought another one. This one's like a skateboard sort of shell helmet that I use now. But safety very important. For those of you that don't know, I wear a helmet to the merriment of many when I film catch cam because I'm not good enough at figuring out where discs are going yet to not get smashed in the scone with them.
Have you tested it out though, Ash? Because if you need a Taipan or so to test it out, I mean, I hit a duck. If anyone saw the socials on the weekend at Winter Ambush, I hit a tap and managed to turn the tap on. So if you want to cop a full, if you want to test it out, I can send a full pelt Taipan straight at the helmet if you like.
Yeah, mate, I'm up for it. I might get a duck sticker and just bung it right on the front of it for you. But yeah, no, I'm up for it. I reckon it'll work.
All right. Awesome, Ash. Really appreciate you coming on to the tee off, mate. Telling us a little bit about yourself and the upcoming tournament and a bit about Parked as well. If anyone is out on the course and you're wondering who Ash is, just look for the guy in the helmet and go give him a big high five. And yeah, see you out there, mate. Thanks again for coming on.
Cheers, legends. Thanks so much for having us on.
Attaboy Ash coming on. And big shout out to Parked. I mean, get around Kyle, Phil, and Ash at PRKED Media doing good stuff, putting out more Aussie disc golf to the world. Loving it.
100%.
100%.
Righto, boys. Next up, we haven't done this for a while.
She's coming back.
She's coming back. Trash or cash? Cha-ching. Cha-ching. I'm going to insert a segment new thing. No, we need to get onto JB, actually.
Yeah.
Do a trash or cash one. I'm sure we'll come up with something funny. But yes, Timmy, we've got a bit of a list. Some people have even sent some in. We always love the sent in trash or cashes, actually.
Can I send another one in?
Yeah, mate, 100%.
You just reminded me.
Yeah.
JB's song intros, trash or cash. I mean, it's a resounding cash
Well,
for me.
let's start it off like JB's intros. Mate, it's 100% it's cash.
Of course it's cash.
I want to hear what the listeners have to say. Next week, we're replacing the phone-in song with
I'm giving it cash.
let's
already.
put Call Me Maybe instead of JB's phone song. Surely. Got to test the market.
Oh, we'll get sued for that. So, yeah. No, so straight up, mid-tier baskets in tournaments.
Oh, here we go.
What's
Now-
mid-tier?
Mid-tier.
Is it a permanent basket on a pole? On the base?
Crap tier.
Okay.
Backyard
So
tier.
shot.
Yeah, backyard.
Backyard tier. Look, this is coming up because we played the Winter Ambush. I'm calling out the Sydney Club. They bought the mid-level portable RPM baskets. I don't like them. We all know I don't like them. But like just playing on those mid-quality. And Fergie, we've got the mid-level, like what have we got? The rad somethings at putting league.
The Eagles?
I don't know what they are.
I don't want to hear it, Tim. I don't want to hear it.
That's fine, putting league and in the backyard, no worries at all. But in a tournament, I want a big whopping target. It needs to not be grey. It needs to catch my putts. I'm not firing them in, and they're coming out somehow. So get rid of these.
What's the go? They're just splashing off the side, or are they just not catching well?
I don't know.
Steps
Everywhere.
They-
Straight off the pole, left, right, yeah.
They look small. They're, like if you're playing like a par 4, they're hard to find. Like the amount of ones were like, where the hell's the basket on this hole? Look, I'm giving it a trash.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, trash.
Trash.
Clubs have
Actually-
they got a spruce for the big ones.
Just following up briefly on that, I got one of the worst spit outs I've ever had. It wasn't on one of the RPMs. It was on. I don't know what they were actually. I feel like they were either like a very early rad basket.
I think
or
they were the old disc catchers. That
Old
was just a
disc
really
catchers?
super
Yeah.
old rusted disc catcher. I think that one in particular was like the tray wasn't straight and it was a bit low, maybe.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling perhaps they were ex-armory. No? Because they've
Maybe?
recently
Yeah.
installed rad baskets at the armory. I think that
okay.
maybe they were upgrading. it
Well,
throughout
like
there, so.
Makes sense this to be a military one because it's seen some action.
Yeah.
It's seen some shit, that
Yeah.
basket.
bullets.
Like, so I also know, I think the catches have been installed on them a bit low because like the ring of the chains coming down the ring was almost at like the same
height.
level as the top of the catcher.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
This was a ripping spin
Yeah.
out though. Like if you think back to like Greg Barsby at the PCS last year when he threw it in.
Yeah.
Like I'd never seen you run, Patty. You'd half run this one in.
Oh, mate.
And then she flopped out.
It was one of those ones. I'm literally maybe like edge of circle 2. It was a bit uphill. I'm walking up to it and I've like just had a little bit of a good run going. And it's one of the, you're walking up, you're like, I'm feeling good. I can see the line. I'm picturing it. Everything, like the wind sort of behind me. I got this. And sure enough, like I'm feeling it in my head. I'm doing my palms and like out of the hand. I'm like, oh, this thing is money. I'm just like, you idiot. I'm running. It was uphill. It was fucking perfect putt. And I was getting the raptor legs going. And then it hit in the heart and then straight back out.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a bad putt.
Proper no-mez.
Two nose up. Should have been nose down. Anyway, following on the winter ambush, carpet tee pads. I thought this was interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're used to concrete tee pads. A lot of places have AstroTurf tee pads. These guys had carpet tee pads.
Are we talking like someone's ripped them out of some 1970s build?
No, they were just grey carpet. They weren't,
okay.
they weren't sort of
That'd be
cool,
awesome.
trendy.
Though.
That
I'd
would
love
be
to see
sick.
some really
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
shitty patterns.
Old casino carpet or something. No, this was just your bog standard like Facebook Marketplace. You know, take this feral.
Nailed down.
I don't even think it was. It was they were big.
They were huge.
That made a huge difference. The width gave you options on that tee pad, and it was actually good. I'm going to give it cash. What did you think of the carpet tee pads?
I did like them. I have a little query on this, Tim. So the hole that had that really big one where the top, did you question that in the practice round? Was there was there a bit of a rough tee pad and old Tim Bohan said, "Hey, no, this isn't good enough."
Which
And
one's this? It's not the one where I hit first available.
maybe.
Yeah, well, I questioned that. Reese and I questioned that because there was like basically a grave in the middle of the pad. There was that big of a ditch.
Okay.
It would have been good if it was still there because I could have buried myself in it.
I was going to say, so the tee pad that you complain about, you then proceeded to hit the first available tree about 2 meters in front of you. Okay, I was wondering.
Clarifying,
I'm glad it's definitely cash.
Yeah.
That was
No,
amazing.
but look, I'll wear that. Jesus, I played bad at that tourney. That was probably the low light. Anyway,
I didn't see the pads. Obviously, I wasn't there, but carpet pads. I mean, I in my mind, I'm liking the idea of this wicked patterns kind of business. So if it's got wicked patterns, it's definitely cash for me.
even just from a functional point of view, I thought they were good.
When I did move on them, I thought they were a bit too grippy.
Yeah.
But then during the round, didn't even notice it. So yeah, I'm happy to throw it out as cash. All right, this is one I chucked in. 2-round tournaments.
Trash.
Yeah, absolute trash. It's got to be 3. You got to have a chance.
Your classic 2-rounder with mixed cards for the first round.
Yeah.
Do they realize that when you do that, that's 50% of the tournament you have mixed cards?
Yeah.
You don't see your competitors for half the tournament. Trash.
Trash.
Can I throw one in here? I don't think we've ever done this before. Or maybe we have. I don't know. Disc golf tattoos.
Disc golf tattoos. Immediately, what springs to mind is Scott Stokely's disc golf.
Disc golf on his knuckles.
I was pretty.
What about like a basket?
Pretty happy to say I fist bumped the disc golf tat.
I've seen some kind of like baskets on calves and some other stuff like that.
Well, Bandy's got the rock, the
Kind of tribally kind of style. Bit of a rock.
the bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fergie, you're rocking a new tattoo on the arm. Like I'm just picturing a basket tramp stamp with the pole coming out of your crack.
He's got no space left. The tramp stamp's taken.
That's full up with something else. I mean, look, I don't know. It's I don't know. People want to get one. You've talked about wanting to get one.
Yes, I have, but I just don't know whether don't know. I haven't seen a good one yet. I
could almost get one. Yeah. Like, I want a tattoo of your
one
disc,
that I would get.
Your disc coming out of the basket with you half running it in. I want that tattooed on my chest. I'd look in the mirror, just be happy every day.
I'll tell you what, I can get that one if you get Patty 3 time on your ass or something.
Patty 3 time.
All right. If I see a good one, I'll definitely shout out as cash. Yeah.
Yep. It's trash for me though. No, it's shit. This shit is terrible. No.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm going to go with trash.
Trash? All right.
Yeah.
All right, tee pads that run uphill.
Trash.
Trash? I mean,
They got to be level.
What if the hole is uphill though?
Yeah, still.
Still
be level.
So you want it flat, aiming uphill.
Yeah.
Do you remember that footage of me at Whittlesea on the tee pad that was going uphill, the whole 9, basket 9? It's like the rubber tee pad.
Is that where you do the twirl?
I did a full 360 and a half.
I love that.
I had to spin so hard to make that disc fly that I did like a triple spin bloody pirouette.
Tee pad's got to be level.
I don't mind it when
Everything else is
when the hole is uphill. But we've got one at Inverleigh, hole 7. Like, it's an elevated pad and it points uphill, and you need it to be pointing like downhill or flat. There's a lot of nose up drives happen. Yeah.
Hole 7 elevated pad
Yeah.
is uphill.
Points uphill. Have a look, Fergie.
Yeah,
we got that one wrong. We're gonna have to fix that one.
Oh, we'll definitely fix that one.
No, I just find like if you're doing you tee off, it's throwing off your timing, being that you're running uphill, whether it's forehand, backhand, your angles are off.
Yeah.
And I want the tee to be level.
For a tee, I probably agree.
Everything else, like on the fairway, all fair.
Yeah.
The only thing I think it does nicely in some ways is slow your run up down. If you're going uphill, you've got to just kind of go about your business slowly.
I'm with Paddy. I'm giving it a trash. For a tee pad, trash.
Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
Now I've added this one on. The bunker hole at European Open. And I had to look this up because bunker is spelled B-U-N.
I know. Do you know how to spell bunker?
That's how you spell it. B-U-N-C-R because the C-R stands for casual relief.
Right.
No, I've just blown everyone's mind there. Anyway, bunker hole.
I feel like you've had a stroke while you've been typing that.
The bunker hole
worries.
at European Open.
Mm-hmm.
Trash or cash?
Well, I said before my thoughts on it. I think it's trash.
Trash?
You know, I see where the gimmicky line is coming from. I get it. It is unique to a lot of holes, a lot of big tournaments. So I will say cash. I do like it, but yeah.
I'm going cash as well.
Okay.
And I know that's controversial, but I like the idea of like, here's the risk, but it's not quite like a 2-stroke risk of what normal OB is. I don't mind that. It'll be certainly a lot more fun than having to go for an island knowing that, this is either going to be a birdie or it's going to be a bogey because I'm going to go to the drop zone and get a 4. I like it.
Maybe we should get AB on the phone. I'll ask him.
Oh,
Declined.
I'm going to go with cash.
Cash. All right. Short triple Mando holes. And Timmy, I think you've put this one in, the Molong one.
Yeah, put this one on because there's one at Molong thrown through the bloody door.
Yeah.
And there's going to be one I saw on the New South Wales fly, but there's going to be one there as well.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting. I forget her name.
Interesting.
But, the TD, Wallace is, I forget her name, but she said it's her favourite hole at Molong.
Oh,
Triple
okay,
Mando
right.
hole.
Yep.
Are you a psychopath?
Yep.
How is that your favourite hole?
No, trash.
Short triple Mandos.
Trash.
No.
Trash.
No good.
Trash all day.
I mean, if it's, I don't know, if you can have one that's naturally made, I guess a tunnel hole in some respects, but like, I don't know, just
I know.
manufactured
It
shit.
just,
I don't know.
sucks
doesn't
trying to
sit
hit
with me.
them at like 20 to 40% power.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like Winthrop Gold's got one, but they're at least like, full like throwing a mid range. Like that. These little pokey ones where you have to like power right down and I don't like them.
No, trash.
I thought it very interesting. I should have looked up her name, but yeah, she said it was her favourite hole at Molong, that triple Mando hole.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy person. Crazy person.
Color codes for course difficulties.
Oh, yeah.
This is an interesting one. Yeah. Yeah. Why?
Because there's red, there's blue, there's white. I saw someone say yellow, and that's different from gold. And then there's also black. What's
There's
the order?
actually, I think there's a purple.
No.
No, there is.
Really?
Yeah,
Purple.
I think there is. It's a new one.
Can't it just be like easy, medium, hard, and then get stuffed hard? Like that's like.
Look, I think
what's the order of colours here?
from based on like designing courses and maps for them, and things like that, having a color is handy. You know what I mean, if you've got, especially if you've got 2 tees or 2 baskets or 3 tees, whatever, you've got a color code is good. So you've got to do something, and this is based off like the PDGA and their pretty loose kind of par guidelines and things like that, saying, or course ratings being red's 850 and then white's 900 and blue's 950 and
So
then
white's
gold's
easier
1,000.
than blue.
Yes. Yeah, according to PDJ.
Gold
Right.
is easier than black.
Well, yes.
Blacks is the hardest. Yeah.
Gold is
Black's
like the first. Like gold is like the pinnacle. Shouldn't that be the hardest?
It's like what
should have called it platinum then.
And then
Snooker?
where's yellow?
Well, yellow. I don't know what the fuck yellow's come from.
Yeah,
Look, I'm tilted at this. This is getting trash.
It
I
is
gotta be-
difficult, but I'll tell you what, it's also difficult because, like, when we, so often we're doing dual T courses and stuff like that, and quite often it's, I'll do like a red and a blue, but not always, because you're designing in public parks and all sorts of shit. You're dealing with stuff. You can't always get a 950 rated hole out of it. You know what I mean? And then some courses where it's like, even with Ruffy Lake, for example. I mean, the blue course, it's blue baskets, but that was more just an aesthetic choice from working with the council. Just go with blue, and I mean, that's not a 950 rated course. You know what I mean? So
no idea how this all works, but
it's hard.
I think it's
easy, medium, hard. They kind of would get the job done, I feel.
Well, I think the crux of this, if someone, apart from Fergie being a professional course designer, if someone was to ask me, oh, hey, like, it's a blue, or, is the red blue, is this color system actually common knowledge in disc golf? I don't think it is. I couldn't.
I just learned.
I can tell you what gold and black.
I just learned gold easier than black, blue harder than white, white harder than red, yellow. What the hell's yellow? There's a yellow layout at some.
And now apparently there's a purple too. No, I don't know.
Purple.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think there's a purple. I think I saw somewhere where it's like super stupidly easy.
Here it is. Here's the definitions as you need to know them. Red, Firebird only. Blue, bring a mid. Gold, just go home and cry. That's basically the descriptions that we need.
Sounds good. I'll put that on the next course map.
Black, you're crying in the shower after. Yeah. All right. I'm going to say they are trash.
They are trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
No, I'm saying cash, but whatever. Outvoted. You've got to have something.
You got to have something, but the fact that no one knows what they actually are, apart from course designers.
Wait till they come to the Invali and they're playing the old reds and the new whites.
Hey, that's all sorted out now.
With the back nine blues and a little bit of gold. It's like so confusing.
Tim.
Shot, look, I'm not even going to hide behind this one. Shots fired. I put on the list for trash or cash, Canberran disc golfers.
I love that it's Canberran as well. Funny
Disc
word.
golfers from Canberra.
Cash. They're cash. They're cash all day.
Have you met them?
Yeah, they keep beating me.
Yeah, bloody.
Although, apart from Jade, thanks for missing that last part on the weekend, mate.
Oh, that got him out of cash, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I put it on there to have a shot fired at the Canberran dudes. But I don't have to say cash. They're too bloody good. I'm shouting out specifically Todd. only Todd. No, shouting out Jade, Austin, and Dan kicking our asses at every single comp. They're just getting their own little shout out and trash or cash. You
One
boys
thing
are cash.
I'd say 100% trash. No, I'm kidding. No, but what redeems them is the short shorts. That's cash for me.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Yep. All right. All right. I like this one, Tim. Commentating on your own round.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, we had to do this recently for the Vic Open.
Yep.
On Gatekeeper.
I do
coming out
remember
soon.
you, like we went into the back nine, I think it was round 2 or round 3, Paddy, and you're like, I'm about to like 3-putt 5 times.
Yeah.
And you were flat as a tack during
I
the
knew it was
commentary,
coming.
mate.
I knew it was coming.
I was
It's
like,
it fucking hurts watching that stuff.
Probably the one time I don't mind playing tournaments at the moment. I'm not playing. So, like, I mean, not that I'm going to be necessarily on coverage anyway, but
card all day.
But it is, it's a bit orcs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And on the flip side, like,
And you try and say something funny and it's like, doesn't land.
it's more so
No,
just like
it's-
me hiding my like pure excitement when I'm like, I'm going to birdie this hole. Like, I know I hit a putt on this hole. Everyone get ready.
Hey, there's mate, there was a whole there were a lot of good shots. It's a lot of fun, and but yeah, sometimes when a round, that round got to you in the past, it is hard to then come back and commentate on. But please throw some trash out there because I need to laugh about it. So yeah,
Commentating on your own round, though, I'm going to have to say it's trash.
Yeah,
Let
it's
someone else pump me
real
up and
awkward.
and knock me down.
yeah, definitely trash.
Easy part. Excuse me. Waiting for the sound effects.
Sorry, there's a delay on that.
Easy par threes to start a comp. For example, the Queensland Open and the Winter Ambush.
Yeah, just the 2 most recent comps. Queensland Open had a whopping, like, great big par 4, crank one off the tee for the first shot to open a tournament. Whereas Winter Ambush had a nice little easy par 3, like one that you're like, I've got to get this hole. Yeah. What do you feel? Easy birdie op to start, or sort of harder, hole to start a tournament?
Depends if I birdie it or not, to be honest. If I don't get it, then yeah, it's trash. I hate missing easy birdies, but like it's a nice way to start your round. Get like I birdied it twice at Winter Ambush.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt good to get a birdie straight on the card.
For me, I think the harder the hole, the better.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, because if I par it, and I'll be disappointed to get a birdie, but you didn't, what I mean? Like it's not a full train. But if it's a must get birdie,
I probably worded this wrong. Like, I don't think it's trash, but I think like starting with the other option, the big par 4, like let you throw a massive shot as your first shot, a big rip. That's probably more cash. Nothing wrong with starting with easy par 3, but
Regardless of like what the kind of drive is, I really like a par 4 to start.
I agree.
Yeah.
Par 4 to start.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to have to technically give this one trash, but I probably worded that one wrong.
It's just not as good cash.
It's just not as cash.
Not as cash. All right. All right, I put this one in a birdie bash to finish off a course.
So like the easy hole to finish.
Yeah, or like the run. So like we've just
yeah,
watching
yeah,
Vic Open where like the last 6 holes you've got to basically, get them all. Queensland Open was like a big birdie fest to get in. We sort of saw that at Winter Ambush as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Personally, I don't love it. Like I always think about like the Barn Valley League days. We're always playing the course from like 1 to 18, and then you come to a league day and you start on hole 5, and you're like, okay, I've got holes 1 to 4 to finish. I'll get 4 birdies, and I go like +2. And you're like, I don't know, something about playing the easy holes right at the very end.
It's the interesting thing with the Vic Open, because obviously it was at Vic Park, which is the permanent layout would be you're starting in the first 4 holes or 5 holes are probably the easier ones.
We're finishing on the holes that we normally play early.
Because it started on hole 6. So it's interesting that it worked out that way. But I do think, start playing a comp when you got in the back of your mind, okay, I've got to stretch it, a home stretch.
Yeah.
I can get some birdies here. I can kind of come back and things like that. And if you don't, then feeling like shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I probably prefer them at the end of a round as opposed to the start. So I'm going to have to give it cash.
Mm-hmm.
I've had time to think about it. I'm going with cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll go with cash.
I'm saying trash because I like the Inverleigh put it as an example for like big tournaments and stuff as well. Like those last few holes they're the big challenge, and then that's where it's really coming down. Where you're like, all right, I can birdie these ones and stuff, but
that's a good
17, 18, like it just builds.
That's a good argument, actually. Yeah. It is good to have the very last hole be like a par 4 or something where there might be some score separation.
Yeah.
Or trash. Yeah. Now, they're a very hard one, Patty. It's a hard one.
I think, do you ever think about that, Fergs, when you're designing, like, especially like these big, like, I know we put a lot of time and thought into Inverleigh, but I really liked how that finished. I mean, we were talking about having that, what is 18 now being that be the front 9 and then you play different, but we ended up reversing it. So then that's now 18, 17, you're coming back through. Well, I think it was a good choice.
I mean, Inverleigh really from 15 onwards, 16, 17, 18. I mean, that's a really hard stretch. And that plays well.
Yeah. Actually, you just reminded me, I forgot to mention this. I like how the upshot on Ulti-World Disc Golf, Charlie Eisenhood and Jamie Thomas, the other dude, is his name Jamie? No, somebody.
Yeah.
They always rate like the 18th hole of a tournament in terms of its score separation. And I totally forgot to mention in the FPO division for European Open, Heidi Leiner, she actually eagled the 18th hole to take solo second.
Oh, that has to be
Euro.
a throw-in. No one's parked.
No. She parked it. Yep. She
they
up the hill.
It's a par 5.
It's a par 5 for them.
Okay, so
But still, she got to about where the MPO boys are sort of approaching the basket from, which is like a very tough shot. And she put it, 5 meters, hit the putt. So she got an eagle, and Missy Gannon, who was second, bogeyed, which was huge.
Wow.
So I think, back to your point, Patty, like I don't mind having some easy holes towards the finish, but the very last hole, when the comp is on the line, it's good to have something a bit more spicy than a birdie bash hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I'm going to go with you, Patty. I'm going to go back to trash.
Okay. All right. Now, we had one sent in a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to try and phrase this properly because it's a bit of a tricky one. But is this trash or cash, gents? So
seems like outlandishly personal.
Yeah.
But anyway, fire away.
A company using a photo, like sharing their photo, disc golf company sharing the photo of an event, but in the photo there's competing, disc golf companies, and they remove the logo in the photo, and then so they can share it. Proper Photoshop.
So you're talking about me when I post pictures of you and I've just photoshopped all the ace holes. I mean, sorry, the flying disc or aces out of
anything I get at Tim, highs a flight gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cash. I don't want to be promoting my disc golf rivals. And that's what you are, straight up rivals.
Yeah, that's strange, isn't it? That's strange behaviour.
I think that the pettiness of it makes me laugh. So I kind of want to say cash.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like,
Oh no, that's
If anyone's
So-
seen my photoshopping skills as well, if I had to do that, that would take hours, man. Hours.
why
I
stop
don't
at the
have that.
logo? Just change the face. I mean, who won?
if you're going to get the airbrush out, just make me better looking, please. Seriously.
All right. I think it's trash, let's be honest. All right, Tim, one for you. Morning league days, especially in winter in
Yeah,
Geelong.
morning league days. Trash. Like, it's cold.
It's cold.
Especially in winter. Like, seriously, can't we just tee off at like a nice 11:30? Sun's out. I've had a chance to wake up. Coffee's kicked in. I haven't had to run to the dunny before tee off. You haven't given me any time.
I'm with you there,
You,
mate.
you blokes are talking like MPOs. Like, I've got to start after lunch. I'm not teeing off before
Seriously.
fucking 12 o'clock.
Seriously. For a league day.
Yeah, no, can't spare.
Yeah.
Afternoon rounds kill it. I love it.
I really like that Sunday afternoon round.
It's a good one.
Yeah, there's a cheeky beer in the
Hit the
bag.
bar afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good.
All right, trash. Tim, you've added this one. You can introduce it.
What is it?
Polo shirts.
Polo shirts. Can we talk about polo shirts?
All right. What's your gripe with polo shirts?
Why do we need polo shirts? Like, why do we need a collar? Like, isn't the point of the collar to have it up so the sun's off your neck? No one does that. So why have a collar?
What? Polos are meant to be flipped up all the time.
Well, like, why is there a collar? Like, you going to a business meeting? Like, what? You're playing frisbee, mate.
We're all business.
You're playing frisbee. I'm still waiting for like the Ezra Adderhold polo with no sleeves to come out. So, it's like, that's about where we're at.
That is cash.
Yeah.
That is cash.
No, it looks just a nice tech performance shirt, but like a polo. I don't know.
Don't know. I mean, I guess obviously it's a traditional thing, isn't it? You know, I mean, we've taken it from
it's
golf.
it's your fucking middle-aged golf wanker that we're bringing over to disc golf. Shout out to the Flying Distal Aces polos. Beautiful.
They look
Absolutely
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Give me a jersey all day.
I'll tell you who I'll shout out because they make some wicked polos. Birds of Condor. Birds of Condor. If you have, I'll flick you some stuff of theirs.
Yeah.
Listeners at home, go and check out Birds of Condor. They're an Australian brand. They do collabs with like some really cool other brands and stuff. They make golf gear.
Any
and-
chance of making a jersey?
I think they got jerseys.
What? Like, why do I need a collar?
To keep the sun off your neck, Tim. Yeah. When you've got white pasty skin, you might get some nasty little things
Do
growing
I
on
have
your
to
neck.
like flop
Right.
it up though? Is
Tim,
that okay?
I'm gonna try and sway you here. Right. Aussie Open, major, you had to wear
You did.
polo.
You did.
That was
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. It's now going to tech. You don't have to now.
Yeah. But, and this could have been the fact that we're in Perth, and I don't reckon many of those Perth boys know what a polo actually is. But when we were out on the course and playing, and we had your random, Mundaring community come out and watch, everyone looked professional. Everyone looked really good that was playing. They look okay. Those guys, they're a step above the rest. They're not, they've got collars. Look at those collars. They look fantastic. So I think it does look more professional when they're out there playing.
What's your vote though?
There's a
My vote's trash.
There's a cash coming. You know it.
Oh yeah, mate, it's cash all day.
So I'm getting outvoted here. 2 cashes
Yeah,
for polos.
for tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah, 100%.
Can't be the only one.
Does
that
Heiser
is.
Flight have a polo?
I don't think so, but I wouldn't wear it. I wouldn't wear it.
I tell you what. Let's do 2 trash or cashes here, because I'm like polo shirts for tournaments, cash,
Trash.
absolute cash.
Are you saying put it out to the listeners?
But polos for casual rounds, trash,
I just
absolute trash. I
just-
feel so,
polos in every aspect of your life. Trash.
mate.
The
all
collar,
right.
the collar is redundant because you're not popping it up, so you're not getting any extra purchase out of that. I don't
When's
know.
the last time you had a job interview? What do you wear to a job interview?
Like the collared shirt, and I feel like a twat. Honestly,
Can we see you in a polo? I wanna see you in a
Yeah.
polo now.
I do rock the polo at work sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah,
I,
there we go,
and
there
I
we go.
hate it.
Don't you
I'd
work from
love to-
home?
I'd love to see when I do leave the house. I'd love to see what the listeners say about that one.
All right.
It is a wanky name, polo, though. I mean, surely it's got to come from polo, like on the back of the horse, smacking the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wanky fucking old people.
Yeah.
Love the frisbee golfer calling another sport wanky.
Yeah.
Love it.
But the polo shirt, it's a 2 against 1. Cash. All right. I think that's all we have for the trash or cash. If you do have some, guys, please send them in because they crack me up when people send in the trash or cash.
If you think of one, write it down because I thought of one during the round the other day and I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
That went on for hours too, Tim,
mate.
by the way. It's like, oh, yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, it was a great
Still
one.
can't think of the we drive like that was at the airport 5 hours later when we're driving home. I still can't think of that one.
Yeah. Might have been the gin and tonics we had at the airport. Didn't help. Now, Patty, any questions?
Well, Tim, you have
Actually,
one.
I wanted to bring up, sorry, this is going back to last week. Of course, I couldn't be there. I was crook on my deathbed. Didn't have a sore throat, Patty. I was bloody dying at home. But anyway, I was listening intently.
Man flu.
And I almost jumped out of my bed when I heard this. Jason McCormick from last week asked, which hole have you made your bitch?
Mm-hmm.
And Patty, what was your answer?
It was the hole 13 at
Hole 13
yeah.
at the Queensland Open. Have you got it here? You're going to play that little sound bite
Yeah,
there?
I got the sound bite. Tee, bit of a tight line that you've got to throw your backhand hyzer through. Once you circumnavigate all the wood, it sort of goes down to just a slightly drop in elevation to the pin there. A little bit of OB long if you do get there. But yeah, par 3, about 100 metres. Most people were, if they were stuffing it up, they were hitting early and taking, some bigger numbers there. But I birdied that every round of the Queensland Open, so pretty happy about that.
Bitch.
Yes. What hole?
Now, first of all, great use of the word circumnavigate. And you did mention if they were stuffing up, they were hitting early. I do believe you hit early, but didn't go into death, did it? You just got a little bit of 3-time love, I believe. And I
Is there any
believe
footage of this?
Justice has the evidence on his YouTube channel. Paddy, have you got another bite for us, please?
I do.
Roll with an extra A in the evidence.
Welcome to Jalna. Today you'll learn how we make Jalna pot set yogurt. We start with fresh milk, pour it into special pots, then set it for the perfect length of time to create our uniquely thick and delicious Jalna pot set
Hearing a new
yogurt.
sponsor.
Need a script quick but can't get to the doctor? Instant Scripts let you request scripts in minutes. With Instant Scripts.
This one's for you, slow-mo cam, straight for Tim Bohan. Watch this. Boy. I wonder what Patty and that tree been doing under the night sky up there in Brisbane. I don't know. That was pretty that looked like more than friends, if you know what I mean.
Jeez.
That was
Goes to town.
amazing commentary by Justice. Paddy, you hit the bloody tree that everyone's trying to miss.
Yeah,
and
mate.
you split the middle of it. You hit the inside of the left limb and glanced back onto the fairway and parked the hole. Like the people that hit that tree take 4. You've got a
mate.
birdie.
I think clearly he's making it his bitch.
Yeah, it's a 2 on the card, mate. The 2 every round. That is my bitch.
That was a shank, mate. A shank. You know, it was funny watching it. So, watching it with Kat, and as soon as you hit that tree, I just go, "Fuck off, Pat." And that was even before Justice said, "This one's for you, Timmy Bohan." I'm like, "Patty, you bastard."
I literally, it left my hand, and because I've just actually no, was that round? I can't remember. I think one of the hole before I didn't. Stuffed it up a bit, but as soon as out of my hand, I'm like, that's early.
Yeah, that's
And then just that little kiss,
That
little. We're definitely getting a soundbite out of Justice.
it's so good.
But as soon as I saw that, immediately I'm like, oh, I cannot wait for Tim to see that.
Yeah, hated it.
That
Just
was
had to call it out because you didn't make that hole your bitch. The hole gave you a lot of love, mate.
It's a 2. It is a 2. Actually, speaking of some videos and that sort of thing, I did have a good sound grab from one sent in by Ben Wynn. Timmy on the weekend.
Here we go. I was made a bitch a lot on that course.
Didn't sound like chains.
Yeah, that was hitting the band for about the 80th time.
Yeah.
Something about those RPM baskets and that like angled grey band that's very small. I managed to hit it so freaking often.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
That's
thank-
pretty funny.
Thanks, Benny.
Yeah, it was
Love
good.
it.
On you, Benny. If you want to follow Tim and film all that stuff, please do.
Benny,
I
you could
appreciate
have
it.
just farted and I would have hit it. But anyway,
All right, and that brings us to another episode of the Tee Off, episode 42 in the wraps in the books. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Please send in any questions or topics that you'd like us to discuss. We love those trash or cash topics. Send them in. Until next time, we hope you get out and play some disc golf. Thank you, Fergie. Thank you, Timmy. Appreciate it.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.